This is the Fashionably Dating Mikara podcast, turning the personal styling experience into an accessible luxury with your fabulous host, Mikara Reid.
Hey y'all, hey. Thank you guys so much for tuning in my podcast, Fashionably Dating Mikara. I am your fabulous host, Mikara Reid. I'm excited I turned this idea into a podcast because it initially came from my personal client I had in Miami, Florida. The title, Fashionably Dating Mikara, she felt like she was fashionably dating me. Because I was like her style companion that made her feel better by dressing her better. It stuck to me, and I did an event titled this, Fashionably Dating Mikara in Florida, but I really, really liked the title and I wanted to do more with it. So I kept it in my journal, my notes for future endeavors. So as I continue through my journey of styling and fashion and creativity, I said, I'm going to bring Fashionably Dating Mikara back, but now I let it ponder in my mind. And as soon as I made some business moves into getting back into image consulting and personal styling, I said, that's it. A podcast that provides styling advice in a more convenient and affordable way. And here we have it. I want to give a special thanks to the creatives behind the scene who worked with me closely on this, since I was just, a couple of the areas I was definitely particular. I'm going to definitely give a shout out to DJ Brian D on the great intro. I love. Thank you so much for Afuma. Thank you for translating and conveying the words that I have for my content on my website. And definitely thank you for, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but Amoniye, I'm sorry, my graphic designer in Nigeria. Thank you, special thank you to him, because I was definitely nitpicky on the graphics and advertising and everything such. And lastly, of course, me. I mean, I put in some work in this too. It wasn't just me, delegating my team, but I definitely had a foot in this. So on a regular episode, you will be listening in on my podcast personal client call, where she will be letting me know what her style dilemma is. Like if she just graduated from college or changing a career and she's going in for an interview, stuff like that. Or she wants to go on a date with a guy, but she wants to, and she lost some weight and she wants a new look. So I'm helping her and I'm walking her through her style dilemma. And you guys will definitely be tuning in, listening on the full conversation and I'm definitely going to be providing some tips. And if you still want to submit yourself, you can. You can submit yourself to fashionablydatingmakara.com/guest. You can be anonymous if you don't feel safe that you want your name to be out there. It's fine. You could definitely stay anonymous. I would definitely respect it. And I also will include a segment called Quickies, where you can just text me a quick question like, hey girl, I know you are like the earring goddess and I need your help. I know you are the accessory expert and I need your help on this. What accessory looks bomb with this outfit? Something very quick that I can just, answer within a matter of seconds. But since this is the first episode, I wanted to just introduce myself, which I did, the podcast, how it is, and my superpowers and testimony. So you guys will now be tuning into how I got into my superpower of styling and making women feel better, how I got into it. And then you're also going to hear a phone call from a previous client that I had. So here it is, my superpower. Image. Does image play a small part in your life? Or does it play a big part in your life? For me, it plays a significant amount of element in my life. Why is that? I just feel like it's a strong suit regarding language. Having such a visual presence in a room without saying much or anything at all, it just indicates some type of communication, right? It was my image speaking all along. All these years, I've been just speaking a very strong visual communication. It doesn't matter what volume, what colors, or what accessories, I was speaking some type of presentation that resonated with people. Studies show that your appearance changes how trustworthy, successful, or powerful people think you are. You can change some people's first impression of you by just changing your behavior or how you present yourself with your image. I can't tell you a number of times I've been struggling behind the scenes and just personal things in life that I brought upon myself, business ventures and schooling. But people just seem to just thought that I always had my stuff together just because of my quote unquote looks, or I'm just well put together. I bet a number of my friends to this day or past friends that I've had, they probably don't even know that they were friends with like a homeless person or someone that's just been going through something very bad in my life. But they would have never known just because I was just quote unquote well put together and everything was just fine. But I can just remember this one particular time. During my understudies in nursing school in Baltimore, Maryland, this was a very hard time. My money was just so low. I couldn't keep anything. Like, I just had terrible money management. I didn't know financial literacy very well. I just knew that I was handed a lot of money and I just blew it on just stupid shit that just was going within minutes. I was just blatantly terrible with money in my 20s and I'm away from home. It was just bad. But with this particular paycheck that I had, I just knew I had to get some things repaired with my car. The car that I had was a Volkswagen Passat, so it was not cheap. And I also needed to pay a couple of bills in my apartment, like keep the lights on and the heat on. And I also made sure that I had money for gas because I needed to go to my clinicals and to school. I was going to 2 schools at this time. I was going to Coppin State University and Morgan State. So putting that money aside for gas was very mandatory because clinicals, if you miss a clinical, like you fail and you would need to wait. So I had to make sure that I didn't want to drive around too much because that means I'm wasting gas. So I just started to think maybe I can just bait some men and just have sex with them just for me to get some food. I seen my friends do it and they also got other things out of it, but I don't know. I kind of just thought, I got my cousin that go to Morgan State. He was kind of in the same boat, but he had line brothers to lean on. He could just go over his line brother house, or he had females on deck that just he did with what I was thinking. But I'm just like, I'm not this type of female. Like, I'm just naturally not this type of female. I mean, I watch my friends get dogged out and just feel worthless after having sex with them and you're getting this cheap kind of meal and you still just feel worthless. I'm just altogether just not built off of that lifestyle. Like, I mean, I'm still friends with them, but that's just not me. Like, oh, do you? feel like when I'm involved with someone, I need to be fully involved. Like, you're not just getting a piece of me. Like, you're either getting all or nothing, no gray areas. But that's besides the point. So just to clear my mind, I drifted off the subject so I won't just drive myself crazy. I just decided to go to my storage and just get some clothes. Get some clothes and just get dolled up and go somewhere. So I got some clothes. It wasn't too much because I didn't know where I was going, but I wanted to look cute. Like, looking good makes me feel good. So with me being able to just pull some clothes, I still had some nice clothes. I went back to my apartment, got showered, tried to turn some music on. It was okay, but putting on my clothes that I selected out of my storage just did it. I don't know, clothes and accessories just really make me feel amazing. So I had an off-shoulder top with some amazing sequins that I got from like a vintage thrift store in Baltimore. And then I had some wide leg trousers that just fit my body. I'm not really a curvy girl. I'm a bit on the athletic side because I did a lot of sports as a child, but being that my thighs and my butt is meaty. Those type of pants definitely, hugged my curves nicely, and it was high-waisted, and it went very well with my shape. So once I had my clothes on, everything just started feeling amazing, and my confidence just started just flowing and oozing out. And my final touch is the earrings. I love me some earrings. It's been a long ways coming, but once I put those earrings on, I'm just in another zone. Like, you can't tell me nothing. Have my earrings on, then I splashed on some lip gloss. And I don't have no hair. I'm bald. So it wasn't too much to worry about with my hair. It wasn't too fresh, but it wasn't too old. I wasn't cutting my own hair at the time, but my haircut was still intact. It was still intact, so I didn't have much to worry about that. So after I just, glanced, I just mesmerized by myself in the mirror, just making myself feel good, to step out, to just get my mind off of that whole depression of just not having nothing to eat. I hopped in my car, and I just started driving. I didn't know where I was going, what was to come. I just was feeling myself. I wanted to get myself out of that state to clear my mind. And especially since I'm in nursing school, anybody that's like in nursing school, pre-med, you already know what it is with that type of schooling. So as I'm driving, I see like a group of people outside this bar, which is like on the west end of Baltimore, Maryland. So I took a turn into the plaza and decided I wanted to go inside. But before I got inside, I don't know, something just told me to just wait and just brace myself. So I did. I turned off the ignition. I left the key in the ignition, but the car was off. I don't know, something just told me to just check my account, the balance. I did on my phone, and boy, oh boy. Did that give me an anxiety? It gave me an anxiety. I threw my phone. I don't know where I threw my phone, but I definitely didn't bring it in because it just gave me anxiety. So I went in with my head up high, like nothing was wrong, and then I put the car alarm on. I walked in. I just strutted like there was just nothing wrong. I am on the mountains. I feel good. I look good. I think I look good. At that time, my confidence was up there, but it wasn't up there like how it is now. And I just go to the bar, and stupid me, I had nothing to eat all that day. Maybe I had like some fruit or something, but it was very light. And I order a freaking shot of Patron, tequila Patron. That's already $9 out of my little bank account that I had at the time, and that's not including sip. So I took a shot of that, and I'm just sitting there in a daze. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I just know I was just sitting there for quite some time, like just probably thinking about life and just how stupid am I to just be so irresponsible? You're on your own. You've been on your own for quite a couple of years and you still don't have your shit together. You're still blowing money. Like, why don't you learn? So the bartender kind of just interrupts my days and she tells me like, here's a guy bought you a drink. And I'm like, what? So she's like, that gentleman over there paid for your drink or whatever. So I look over, it's like an older guy. I'm going to say over 60. So he waves and I accept it. And I was like, okay, I accept it. So because originally she brought me the glass and told me, guy wants to pay for your drink. And it was nothing in there. So that's why I was a little confused. So she put the glass down in front of me since I accepted it. And she told me he said whatever the lady wants. So I order like a real fancy drink now, like a freaking Mai Tai or something that was, I don't know, that was over $10. Cause I'm not even balling on a budget. I'm struggling on a budget. So he comes over and we just start having a conversation, like a real adult conversation. It's flowing. And, he's finding out that I'm a college student. He would have never thought by the way that I was presenting myself, how I strut in the bar, as he would say, and just me communicating with him my experiences. He was just really in awe. Back to the research on how people perceive you. They can tell by the way you dress and how your behavior is. And those are two things that he saw. And to go back to that research. So the conversation is flowing, but my stomach is like growling. I had nothing on my stomach. I had a freaking shot of Patron and I'm drinking, I'm sipping on a Mai Tai. So he notices my stomach is like making these ugly noises, because it's like I said, I'm struggling on a budget. Okay, don't know how I'm gonna get some food, but I know that money is going towards gas, and I'm already down like $11-12 for my Patron. So he was just so enamored by my behavior and me. In nursing school, I've studied abroad, like just all my amazing stories and experiences that I've shared with him in a short amount of time. I'm going to say about 15 minutes. He was just so amazing that he bought me dinner just by my behavior and my image. Not only did he buy me dinner for that night, because he was a regular, I later found out after he left, but he bought me, he told the bartender or the manager to put it on his tab for the rest of the week. Do you know the rest of the week was until my pay period till I get my next paycheck? Like that was just, I don't know if God was just trying to tell me a lot of things in Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. Y'all done told me so many things, but just by my image, just by that day, I just noticed the power of my image, like how it was put together, what fit my body type, just everything. And then just my behavior fold into it. An older guy, not even trying to have sex with me, not even trying to talk to me in that type of way. He just wanted to have a conversation. He's a regular. He just wanted someone to talk to, like, and he was just proud of my story, my back end, and he bought me dinner for a week's long. I don't know why he said a week, because I didn't tell him anything, and that sort of me just struggling, but I just thought that was just amazing. So yeah, I went there for a week. Thank God it wasn't too far from where I went to school. It wasn't too far from Morgan, and I was fed just off of my look, and I was struggling. After that moment, I kind of experimented to see, how my presentation goes with whether it was business, when I'm in a business meeting, when I went to summits, when I was infectious preventalis, and I had to represent my school, University of Miami, for grad school. It definitely played a big part in your package. Like, people definitely treat you a certain way versus looking casual. You don't have to wear Armani or Fendi or anything. If you want to, you can. If that's in your pocket budget, you can. But at the same time, there are definitely secrets to looking good. I've had a couple of celebrities come up to me just because I had a well dynamite tailor that fit my clothes beautifully. And the pieces I've been wearing were vintage thrift stores. Or if I'm just doing the simple roll, I don't want to be dolled out. I could just wear a nice blazer or a great coat with a t-shirt and a tank top and some bomb ass accessories. You do not need to ball out. So since throughout the years, I've done myself into styling, into the fashion industry, and done different avenues of styling, I really feel like my superpowers is dressing everyday women, particularly entrepreneurs, business women, into looking good. Because I know that business women, especially entrepreneurs, are more focused on getting their brand out there, their company out there, their message out there across as far as the product or the service, and don't really spend a lot of time on their personal presentation. And after speaking with one of my clients that I had, which was a dermatologist down in Miami, I got her dressed when she was doing a presentation for her products. And she, even though her product was already great, like, she got a lot of inquiries just because she looked at so, trustworthy. She looked at sharp. They really were engaged in her. And that kind of heightens, wanting to buy into her products. And so that kind of just willed me into doing more personal styling. And then I kind of drifted off out of personal styling and dived into fashion styling and assisted with a couple of celebrity styling. And I just feel like I really love, connect, and can identify more with, entrepreneurs, business women, low profile individuals. I can definitely help women with all price points on looking good. So by me letting you guys know this, and for you guys to know about my services, since I'm not really a celebrity and I know everyone is so gung-ho on just seeing work through celebrity and X, Y, and Z, I wanted to call one of my past clients that I did 3 years ago, and we became friends because she was going through a situation. Even though I couldn't resonate because I'm not a mom, I still help. We still comb through some things, and we still were able to translate some things. So I called her up, and I want you guys to hear the feedback. I did not even let her know that it's for my podcast. So you're not going to hear her name. You're not going to hear her, me say her name, but you guys can definitely hear her feedback and everything she said about my service.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. How is everything? Well, everything is good. I'm pumped this morning for Thursday or for a day, but I'm pumped.
Well, that's good.
How are you doing?
I am pretty damn good. I feel like it's going to be a real, real good, amazing year. I'm excited.
Okay,
yes.
Search with the so that's what's up. I'm claiming for you.
So I wanted to reach out to you because we met during my little personal styling experience. I wanted to do a special experience, and I said, I should reach out to her to get some feedback since I'm going into a different direction. I'm starting this new podcast called Fashionably Dating Mikara. And I wanted the people to hear your full experience, the feelings, the compliments, everything. I just want you to kind of walk them through everything since I've actually styled you. You actually wore the stuff, and I wanted to ask a couple of more questions. So since I never asked you, we just became friends. I wanted to, let the people know. And I also want to know so I can improve the experience for them, for my podcast, and for future clients. So if you could definitely walk us through the experience of how we met, what was the dilemma that I was trying to resolve, and X, Y, and Z.
Of course, I'll be glad to. First of all, I'm glad that just running into each other in the streets has turned into like this cool friendship where we're kind of building this really cool friendship, which you're a resource to me. Sometimes I could be a resource to you, and that's pretty cool. So you just never know where life can take you if you're trying to do business or sell somebody. But to answer your question, we met somewhere. I think at a store one day,
Dollar
and I
Tree,
think I
Farmers Market.
That's right, Dollar Tree. It was in a Dollar Tree, and because we somehow live in the same town, and excuse me, and you were wearing some tights, and they didn't have lint on them, because I have this thing about tights with lint on them, even though that's all I had. Well, that was all I had at that time. Were tights with lint. So the tights you had were really nice, and they looked comfortable. And I wanted you to tell me where you got them from. So I stopped you and I said, "Hey, how are you? Where did you get those tights from?" And you told me, I don't remember the store, but I know that it was a no-frill store. It wasn't like Breaking the Bank store. It wasn't a McCour's tights, or I don't even know if Michael Kors makes tights. I wouldn't know that because I don't shop Michael Kors or super expensive things. So you told me where you got the pants from, or the tights from. And you also told me that you were a stylist and gave me your card. So I said, we would stay in touch. And then we stayed in touch. And I told you I was trying to break into modeling again. When I was younger, I did some modeling, but I'd gotten into this time in my life where I felt like I wanted to go back. So I felt like it was perfect timing to meet somebody who had been exposed to the industry and knew a little bit more about the industry. Specifically, it's a professional in styling. And I thought it was just pretty dope. So I met you there, and, we talked more. You told me what you did, and I'm not sure if you asked me to style you or I asked you to style me. I think I told you I was going to an event.
I came back to you. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to be more aggressive. So I went back in the store, and I asked you, can I personally style you?
Oh, perfect. See? It was handed to me. Look at that. I didn't even have to work.
Yes. So we
living the high life.
Yeah, so I asked you, and then because it was when I was in town. I wasn't living in New Jersey yet. So I asked you, like, what are you doing, whatever day or the week, whatever, and we met up and we sat down and we chatted. And then you told me that you had kids, 2 kids and a husband. I was just like, girl, you small. I didn't expect you to have I didn't expect you to be a mom. You looked like, you didn't look bad. I didn't think you looked bad at all. You look like you would be hanging out with me or something. You look just very fashion forward. I'm not saying that moms are not fashion forward, but you having like a full-time job, 2 kids, a husband, females sometimes slip. Like I slip and I don't have any of that, but I just felt like you were just put together as a mom, and your kids are young. They're under 10. I've seen a couple of my friends, they kind of slipped. I helped them out or whatever, whether it's dressing wise or with their kids. And I can see like that's not an importance in your life, your appearance. So, we had that nice little sit down, and you told me all the information. I'm like, yes, this is what I've always been wanting to enhance, is to help out moms, because I'm not a mom, so you guys need to help me understand and you definitely exercised me. And I think I did a very good job dressing you because you wanted to do a girls' night out. I remember with your friends. And I said, what are the things that you are afraid of? What are you uncomfortable with? What did you used to do? I just asked all the questions that the things that you were not doing like within the past 5 years, because I know things shift, especially when you have kids and you pay more attention to them. You want to make sure that they're good or in a great place in the household and everything else. And I wanted you to get back to you because you seem so just energetic and vibrant. And I'm like, I'm going to bring this out. And your skin is nice and brown and melanated. And yes. So I had a fun job shopping for you. And then I created some earrings for you off of buttons. And when we met up, definitely explain your whole experience when I came to your house with your garments, and let the people know how the process was.
Definitely, and thank you for the compliment. I was just in a place where I just felt like, okay, I've lost myself a little bit, so let me get back to myself. I want to get back into modeling pictures, and you actually hooked me up with some photographers in terms of you gave me, because I pretty much told you I don't know where to start. I want to change my appearance. I want to get back out there. I want to do more. And you were very instrumental in just giving me advice with the small steps. Like, you just need a little change here, a little change here, and just, hey, make a call here, make a call. That was great, because as somebody who just to get back to themselves after maybe losing themselves, or feeling like they've lost themselves for a while, you can feel overwhelmed. Where do I start? So you were able to give me tools and little steps to start with. So that was pretty good, and I appreciate that. I did take some pictures at that time. Some actually with some of the outfits you dressed me with, which I will get back to. I've always not my whole life, but my whole young adult life, and even growing into being a young mom, a young professional, a young wife, and all that, people will always tell me how great I look in anything I wear. I mean, I could be wearing the clothes I hated the most, and somebody will walk up to me and say, "You look so good in that." And I was just like, I need to step my game up, because most of the clothes I wore were, and you hit the nail on the head for not even being a mom yet, but maybe you have a lot of mom friends. When you start having kids, it's very easy to forget about yourself. And those years, I bought a lot of clothes for my kids. It was just kids. I wasn't buying clothes for myself. So when I met you, a lot of my clothes were old. They were old. They were from pre-baby, and I kept a small stature, so I was still able to get into them. But some were dated. You know what I'm saying? They were dated. So
it's okay. We will spruce it up.
I know. So you walked into my life at the right time. So when you wanted to style me, I was really excited about that. So I'm going to get back to the experience now. So yes, you came to my house. You had the garment. I mean, you are a professional. You don't play games. You are like, we are going to work, and this is what we're doing. I mean, you're very kind, very gentle, very accommodating, but at the same time, you're very professional, which is a great thing. So you came, the clothes were ironed, they were hung, they were, put together, and I was just like, oh, this is the real deal.
Right. So the full personal styling experience, which you're supposed to be getting.
I mean, it was legit. I was impressed. I have to say, I was very impressed with your professionalism and being young. You were even younger than me. I mean, I felt young then. I think I was 29 at that time, or maybe 30.
Like
but
27, 26, 27 years ago.
Exactly. You were much younger than I was then. So you came in and you
trained by the professionals.
So you gave me the clothes, I put them on, and the earrings you made were dope. I still wear them. I still wear them.
Good.
And
I'm known for earrings, girl.
Those earrings were very unique, dope.
I love
and
earrings.
To know them, to know that you made them out of buttons, I was even more just amazed about
fiberglass. It's like a fiberglass button. I bought them, I want to say, in New York, one of them fabric stores. I don't remember. Wow. I was doing a job, but yeah, it's like one of those fabric stores, and I saw like the earrings, and I'm like, yeah, I have to get this because this matches like the whole look of your jacket. Yeah, and I just popped the button in the bag, and then I put did I give you like a clip on, or did I don't think your ears are pierced. I don't remember, but yeah, whatever I put in the bag.
They work.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I did. I popped the bag and then I filed it so it can be safe, and then I put the backing on. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, go ahead.
So I still wear them. You gave me this very adorable. I mean, I say adorable obviously because I use that word too much. Chic, not adorable in terms of like cute. It was very sexy long necklace to go with the top you had me, and you had some capris for me. The top was green, and the top was like a little longer where it was kind of long over your butt, but the front of it was a little shorter. It was very stylish, and I was wondering, like, where did she get something like this from? Like, it looks simple, yet it's very stylish, very chic, very tasteful. You got me that top, you got me the capris, and you got me the hands down, let's top it all up. Yes. Amazing that I'm not sure, I don't remember where you said you got it from, but you can get back to that when I finish. But you got me this dope, multicolor, super, what's that word? It's kind of like antique, but at the same time it's classic, but it's antique. It's still in. You can wear it now and you can wear it 45 years from now. Jacket, blazer. And I put that over it, and I felt like $1 million. I mean, I was just like, where did you get all of this? I just felt like $1 million. I felt like I hadn't dressed like that in a while. I didn't even know to dress like that. And I wore that to my girls' outing, had a great time. My girls were loving my look because obviously I hadn't looked like that in a while. And we had a wonderful time. You know, I took some pictures. I think I wasn't really good with taking pictures then, but I think I took a couple pictures. But I ended up being able to wear the same outfit. I wasn't going to change anything because I was just like, I can't mess this up. This looks just so good. And I got tons of compliments. I was like, I'm not even going to change the earring because I'm going to mess it all up. So I wore the same thing to different events. I remember a friend of mine wanted to take a bunch of pictures of me just with her phone. And she was just like, you look amazing. She took a bunch of pictures. And I thought, you know, I was doing the modeling thing. So she took pictures. I wore it to an event at my church. I wore it to an event at night. I mean, it was just a great put together, to be quite honest. So I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for that whole experience. And it kind of put me outside the box. It kind of started to let me see myself as, you can do more.
Yes, your husband was like, where you going?
That's so right. I wanted to be able to say, okay, you know, I can do more of this. And I think you had told me that you didn't break the bank with everything you put on me. So maybe you can touch more on that.
Okay. So for your outfit, I definitely did I did the high and low. So your jacket was from a little thrift store it was a thrift warehouse I had found like in northern New Jersey. I don't know how I find these places, but I just be finding random stuff. So yeah, I found that jacket at like a thrift store. I did thorough cleaning because I make my own concoction. I cleaned it and then I took it to the cleaners. I don't think I needed to do any alterations. That jacket like fits you perfectly. And then your pants.
Yes, it did.
I remember this was the H&M. I bought those pants at H&M. Because they were tight at first, and then I had to go back and get a size up. I think I had to get like a size 6, but you're like normally like a 4. But you know, H&M was small.
Yeah, but H&M runs small for me. I usually
I don't shop in there.
Yeah.
But, and then your top, I want to say I bought it at like an upscale store. I don't remember, maybe like Nordstrom's or something like that. But I definitely did like a lot of mixing on your outfit. And your earrings, like I said, I made the shoes. You provided the shoes. You had a wide range of colors. So we pulled a color from the jacket, and I think I want to say the picture that you sent me was you picked the blue shoes, the royal blue shoes.
It did bring it all out. I did, and you did help me pick that up, so that was great.
Yes, I definitely taught you how to pick the appropriate colors and not oversaturate colors, because people definitely get happy with color and just don't know which color to bring out. You need to pick something that like complements your look as well as a great balance. I'm trying to think, did you wear a bag?
No, I didn't wear a bag.
You did. I don't remember, but overall, I love the outfit. It definitely brought you, and you definitely saw the different events that you went to. You still looked at fashion forward, whether it was with your girls, whether it was with a professional crowd, or with, I think you said you went somewhere with like millennials, people that were like younger than you, like in your 18s or 20s, and you still was a fashion forward person. So I wanted to be able to. Go ahead.
I said I did. I was just responding.
So I just feel like a lot of people just don't know how to put their outfits together. And I want definitely millennials, especially with us being in a social media and everyone has their phones out, their cameras out. And I want to be able to provide that advice, whether you just want to wear all labels or you want to mix and match. You don't have to always have the most expensive outfit, because I definitely had like something very from the thrift store, and Cardi B came up to me and she loved my outfit. Or I had Mike Epps come up to me and I had like this $14 one-piece outfit on. I mean, of course, my body's like a bit more athletic, but I still was fashion forward because I know what to put together, how to put together, and I also was trained by some professional stylists. And I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. How did your husband like your outfit?
Oh yeah, he loved it. I mean, TMI, but he is always Google Gaga whenever I'm dressed up. So I was like, baby, you look amazing, you look sexy, and I'm like, okay, you told me that like 5 times. I probably should say thank you, but I'm always trying to stop him. And then when I feel like he's not saying it, I'm like, hey, what's wrong with it? So, women, sometimes you can't win with us. But anyway, right. He loved the outfit, and he just thought that it looks like $1 million in it. He said, you always look good and everything, but you look really good. And he also commented on your professionalism and was just saying how professional you were and how, he can tell that you have been exposed to being in the industry. And because back in the days, he was a model. He did a lot of shoe modeling for Reebok and all of these other people. But he could tell that you knew what you were doing. Like, you weren't just an amateur. He could tell that you were tailoring your experience to somebody who was new, but at the same time, new like me, but at the same time, you were experienced and you were able to bring out the best in just an everyday person. So he loved my entire look. He loved it. I think one of the date nights I wore that outfit with him. I'm telling you, I wore that outfit out. So if I had gone somewhere with it, I'm like, yep, I haven't been this outfit, so I'm gonna wear it to this event, even though I wore it yesterday. Of course, I would clean it and then I would wear it again. So yeah, he loved it.
I'm glad. I'm very, very glad, because that's definitely not a market a group of people that I don't deal with too much. I did, people dating when I was in Miami and I first started personal styling, or someone wants to get like their significant other bag. I'm going on a date. Can you dress me? But to actually dress like a wife, that's like a total different ballpark. because you definitely want to respect each other's boundaries, and you also are a mother, so you don't want to be misrepresented. So that's something I definitely want to tap in with my podcast, along with just helping millennials look at their best and entrepreneur women. And that is what you are now, because you no longer work at that full-time job that I met you during.
Yes.
And I hope that, I hope I definitely inspire a lot of women. I hope I help a lot of women. That's definitely my goal, is just to help women, specifically women in the business, entrepreneur, to just always look their best, because appearance is definitely important when you're doing business. If people don't know that, it does. Because if you have something off, they kind of just mislead you, or you just misguiding them to something else. You don't want to wear something too sexy, or you don't want to wear something so abrupt. You want to have a nice midpoint of being or keeping your appearance great.
Right.
So my last question is, did you learn anything from our styling experience?
Of course I did. So I'm trying to figure out, where do I start? So I learned a bunch of things and I take away a bunch of things. So one of the things that stuck out to me, which I kind of already knew before, but it was more of a professional reiteration from somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Because I don't know if I shared this with you, but before I actually ran into you, I was telling my boss at the time, who was very stylish, but she, was my boss. She has no family. She was 50-something years old, had no family. She was a Caucasian woman, no family, no husband at that time, probably making $170,000. So she wore a lot of expensive stuff. But she always looked at me. So I do remember speaking to her, letting her know that I wanted to step up my game, and she was giving me tips. But I'm like, your tips don't work with my lifestyle. Like, all of those do not work. Your tips and where you shop and I are like Africa to like the North Pole, so they don't work. Thank you. But so one of the things, I said all that to say, what I learned is that you can look like $1 million without breaking the bank, and
Right.
It helped. It gave me a little bit of confidence to be able to step out and saying, let me see what sales are at the store. Let me see what this store has, what Macy's has. And, now I shop a lot of Macy's backstage, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to throw any names there, but I shop at the sale racks when I go to places, because you gave me the confidence to know that you can actually go to places, no matter where it is, no name, to buy stuff that don't cost a lot of money, and you can look great in them, as long as you pair them up well. So I learned that. And I also learned that I'm trying to figure out how to put it. I also learned that meeting people can be a huge blessing to you.
Yes.
You may think that you're in a certain period in your life, and that, you have to do something by yourself, but you will meet people who will be angels in that season, and you were one of my angels in that season. So I know I was like, how do I say this? I had to put it there, and thankfully, we've still been in touch. And I heard you saying that, your passion, which you share with me, is that your passion is you want to help women look their best, and you always look very put together. You always look nice and dress very well, which is a great thing. You practice what you preach, and your goal and your passion to help people is really evident, because now you're a resource for me. If I'm trying to maybe put something together, or if I'm trying to go on an entrepreneurial professional move, I'm trying to make a move, I check with you first, for the most part, which was a blessing for me. So not only was it a blessing in terms of especially exactly styling, it was also a blessing for me to meet somebody who you just never know where life takes you, somebody who I benefit more from. So thank you for that.
Yes, I'm so glad I am a resource. I'm trying to be a resource to many because I've been trying to figure out if I want to be a mentor. I've been asked that a couple of times, and I'm like, let me try this. Let me try the podcast. I think this idea would be very, very beneficial because you've been asking me for input, and thank you so much for telling me that I look good because sometimes I feel like shit. But I mean, even on my down days, I just make sure that my accessories are like on point because I'm bald head and accessories pop on me. So definitely just always trying to look my best, even when I don't feel my best. I want to look my best because sometimes people, like you said, people just walk into your life and just compliment you, and that just brightens my day. It brightens my day. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about it. I just had someone do that the other day, and it just brightened my day, and it just made my day so much better because I put that little effort in, like, my accessories or just making sure my face is together and my lip gloss is great, and just the whole appearance, just being well kept, and people can definitely see it. So thank you so much for your feedback. I definitely was taking notes. Do you have any bad to say? You could say it now. Don't be lying, girl. I'm not gonna put your name out there.
If I have any what?
Anything bad, anything negative.
Well, that was my longest list. So let me open this page. No, I'm just kidding. Let me open
I'm about to say, I'm ready, girl. I'm ready.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. No, I don't. No. I mean,
don't
and
lie.
You know to be upfront. You know that about me. You know that sometimes like you're like, well, she got to the point about that one. No. Right. I think you're very professional. You have a passion for what you do, and your niche is very needed because not only celebrities need styling sometimes. Everyday people sometimes are clueless on what to wear, and professionals.
Body structure is just great, and I think people just need to acknowledge that. When people acknowledge their body structure, and then they can pick the right clothing, and everything would flow. Like, everyone does not have a body like Beyonce. Everyone does not have a body like Rihanna. Everyone just needs to understand and be knowledgeable about their body structure, their physical, and everything else would work out very well. So
exactly, and everybody does not need to look like Tiana Taylor or Beyonce. Some other people look like Cheryl. I forgot her name. Cheryl. Some other people look like other people, and that's fine. They can be confident they look because all women are made differently, and you can be beautiful in your own skin. It's all about the confidence that you have. So to have somebody who can help people bring out their confidence and flatter the best parts of their body is amazing. And I think that's where you come in, because when you hear stylist, all you think about the A-list or the folks with the big names. So I really like what you're doing, or what you're aspiring to do more of, which is, help out more people,
everyday low-profile professionals.
Yep, people behind the scenes. A lot more of the normal people in this world.
Yes, that's definitely where my heart lies. I have assisted celebrities, and I'm just more passionate about everyday low profile meaning like dermatologists, doctors, or like a politician or something like that. I just feel more connected to people that are dealing with everyday issues. I connect with them, I grasp with them, and they're definitely more lenient to just opening with dressing however.
Absolutely. And the name I just kept stumbling up was Sherri Shepherd. I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, Sherri Shepherd.
It's just to her. I just couldn't get the name out. But I love her. She's a beautiful person. I love listening to her. She doesn't have a body like Beyonce, but she's a beautiful person. And if you have a shape like that, or if a woman has a shape like that, they should still be able to wear something that flatters them and still feel confident in it. You know, not feeling like they have to look like a Coca-Cola bottle. Not everybody needs to look like that. So,
Right.
yep.
Yeah. All right, girl. Thank you so much. And hopefully you have a nice, happy, healthy delivery with your third amazing child.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yes.
And I'm honored to be able to do this interview with you. I mean, you've blessed me and you continue to. So thank you for having me, you know, just to talk with you about my experience. And thank you. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it, and I feel honored.
Yes, and we'll talk later about your ventures that you're stalling. Cough. Oh, cough.
Oh, yes.
All right. Bye, girl.
Bye, girl.
Thanks for listening to Fashionably Dating Mikara podcast with my very special guest, Lola from Jersey. Hey, girl. Hey. Congratulations on having the healthy baby boy. I'm so excited to see him. I'm your fabulous host, Mikara Reid. If you would like to be my podcast personal client, please log on to fashionablydatingmakara.com/guests. Or if you have that quick question like, girl, I need help on this color or something, definitely submit your quickies on the website or text 929-430-7998. I look forward to hearing from y'all and make you guys look utterly fabulous. In the meantime, in between time, don't forget to like, review the podcast, share, and subscribe. I look forward to hearing from y'all. If y'all want to contact me on Instagram, it is fashionablydatingmakara. Fashionably Dating Mikara. Thank you guys so much again. I appreciate the listening. Talk to you guys later. Bye.